Fellow classmates, please be seated. Good afternoon, and welcome to Carroll High School's Class of 2017 commencement ceremony. We are very grateful to the parents, teachers, staff, and countless others who have supported us along this journey and who are here celebrating with us today. At the beginning of senior year, I realized just how much Carroll has affected me. It was the first day back from a busy summer vacation. I walked through door 13 sporting a brand new outfit, excited to take on the challenges and milestones of senior year. I had so much to dread, like college applications, AP exams, and finals, but I also had so much to look forward to, like semi-formal athletic events, prom, and most of all, graduation. All these thoughts were occupying my mind as I walked towards the Commons, when suddenly a girl came up to me and politely whispered, "Hey, you still have the size tag on the back of your jeans." A little mortified, I quickly thanked her and ran to the bathroom to rip that tag off. I was very grateful for this girl, who I'd never even seen or talked to before, but she still had my back even when I thought I didn't need it. As the year went on, I realized that this is truly the Carroll way. We care and look out for others. During our brief time at Carroll High School, the 2017 graduating class has made a tremendous impact in the lives of those in our community. This year alone, the Senior Gift Committee with the Chargers Fighting Cancer Club donated tens of thousands of dollars to the American Cancer Society to fund cancer research. Our Construction Club has donated thousands of cans to the Community Harvest Food Bank to feed the hungry. We've also held multiple fundraisers to help others in the community, and even some of our own Chargers who have fallen upon hard times. While all this was happening, our class gave a warm welcome to several new administrators and embraced the knowledge and expertise that they would contribute to our final year at Carroll. We accomplished these tasks not out of our own self-interest, but in the spirit of giving back and helping others. Carroll has truly cultivated an environment that is both compassionate and empathetic, values which drive us to do the right thing and treat people right, just like we've been taught since elementary school. Just like that girl looking out for me in the hallway, Carroll students have each other's backs in good times and bad. Moving forward, I hope that each and every one of us continues to make positive, lasting impacts in the lives of others, whether it be through community outreach, serving our country, or simply saving someone from an embarrassing wardrobe mishap. I know that the class of 2017 will continue to make an incredible impact on others in the future. Therefore, it is my absolute honor and pleasure to introduce Carroll High School's graduating class of 2017.
Good afternoon. My name is Brandon Bidding, and I have the fortunate opportunity to be principal of Carroll High School. Dr. Himsel and guests, it is my pleasure to present to you the senior class of 2017. It is my privilege to certify that they have met the requirements as stated by the state of Indiana and the requirements established by Northwest Allen County Schools. At this time, we are ready to begin the graduation ceremony. Thank you.
Welcome, and thank you for attending today's graduation ceremony. We are honored that you chose to take time from your busy schedules and celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2017. At Northwest Allen County Schools, we are blessed to work with many dedicated students and supportive families who are willing to engage in a variety of learning activities, accept the challenge to go further than they initially thought possible, and serve our community, all while committing to a quest of achieving excellence. At this time, I would like to recognize two individuals who demonstrate this quest of achieving excellence. As I call their names, I ask that they please come to the podium. The first person I will invite to the podium put his work ethic to use not only to pursue academic excellence, but also in the pursuit of excellence in several other activities, including as a member of our state champion cross-country team. He plans to take his work ethic to West Lafayette and study engineering at Purdue University. Please welcome our salutatorian for the class of 2017, Andrew Zaire. Our next honoree will also give our valedictorian address. He participated in several activities throughout his high school career, just as Andrew did. And in particular, he showcased his diverse set of skills by excelling in activities such as wrestling and jazz band. Both of these activities afforded him the opportunity to compete in state-level competition. He will be attending Harvard University in the fall. Please welcome our valedictorian for the class of 2017 and our next speaker, Joel Byman.
You are not successful. At least that's what the world says. The world tells us that only those sitting up here on the stage are the successful ones. Only those who managed to get a high enough GPA or got into a prestigious college, those are the successful people. Well, I am pleased to inform you that that view of success is wrong. I want to describe for you the most successful woman I know. This woman grew up in a small town not far from here. She didn't graduate at the top of her class and did not get many awards. She wasn't a star athlete or very popular. She went to a college in her hometown because it was affordable. She has not made a ton of money, does not live in a huge house, works a part-time job, and never gets enough sleep. Now you're all thinking, Joel, that woman is definitely not successful. But you've heard only half of the story. This woman works a part-time job, not making much money, because she is a mother who loves her children and spends time taking care of them. She doesn't live in a huge house because she is happily married to the love of her life, who happens to be a pastor. She never gets enough sleep because, well, yeah, that's partly my fault. This woman is my mother. You see, when we judge my mom by the way that the world tells us to, by her job or how much money she makes or how big her house is, then she simply does not measure up to the world's standard of success. But when we take a closer look, we find that she is extremely successful, just in other ways. The same is true of every single member of the class of 2017. Maybe you didn't get an honors diploma. Who cares? So maybe you didn't get to be a part of National Honor Society or weren't in the top 50. So what? Sure, you weren't valedictorian. Why does that matter? Heard the kid's weird anyways. See, these are the things that the world says define success. But look what happens when we strip these things away. We are left with what is truly important, us. Besides the glorified trash bags, of course. People are what matter, and that includes every single person listening to this speech, and those who've already dozed off. If we live our lives thinking that money or fame or our accomplishments are what make us truly successful, then we will live a life filled with disappointment. Money and fame and accomplishments are all fleeting things that do not last, so why should we base our definition of success on them? Some of you will get married and raise a family, and that is your definition of success. Some of you will serve our country in the military, and that is your definition of success. Some of you will be teachers or musicians or engineers or a host of other things, and that is your definition of success. Your definition of success does not have to be the world's. As for me, my definition of success is best summed up by the words of author William Fay. He says, "Success is sharing your faith and living your life for Jesus Christ. This definition of success does not depend upon anything that I have done, but depends solely upon what Jesus Christ did when he died on a cross to save mankind from their sins." This is a definition of success that I hope and pray each and every one of you will experience one day. With this definition of success, I can still wear these things and be proud of them too, if I can get them back on, knowing that they do not define me or my level of success. Jesus Christ determines my success. Now, Class of 2017, I want to leave you with a final thought. My favorite Bible verse and my senior quote is Mark 8:36, where Jesus asks, "For what does it benefit a man to gain the world yet lose his soul?" Friends, please do not buy into the world's view of success, or you will look back on your life with regret, wishing that you had invested in things that truly matter. Decide for yourselves now how you will define a successful life. I hope and pray that you choose correctly. Thank you all, and God bless.
Joel, I concur with your definition of success. That is much more in line, and if we can do anything to change the way our state defines that, I'm right there with you. Congratulations to Andrew and Joel, and thank you, Joel, for sharing a few thoughtful words. I have confidence that each of you will make our community proud as you pursue your dreams and continue your quest of achieving excellence. As our choir prepares for its performance, that's cue for those of you who need to be relocated to the back. Let's share our appreciation and pride in their accomplishments by giving Andrew and Joel one more round of applause. At this time, let's redirect our attention to the Carroll High School Choir as they perform a special selection for the senior class.
Travel
We are blessed to serve many musically talented students, and whether it is one of our instrumental groups or one of our vocal groups, the performances are always outstanding. Before we continue, let's please give our band who played before the ceremony began, as well as the processional and our choir who just provided another great performance, a round of applause to say thank you and to show appreciation for their talents. As I prepared for this afternoon, I came across a quote of which I've paraphrased because it kept coming back to me. We get wise by asking questions. Even if the questions are not answered directly, we still get wise. For a good question yields answers for us to ponder. It is true, we spend a lifetime asking questions and reflecting upon and ultimately learning from the answers. As a toddler, nearly every question is a why question. Why is the sky blue? Why can't I have ice cream? Why do I have to brush my teeth? Why? As we get older, the questions become more complicated and harder to formulate. And as we gain experience, the answers become more complicated and harder to discern. In fact, the answers seem to contradict the answers to other questions. To illustrate a point, I will share a personal moment. It was a moment that occurred when I was 19 years old. I was working a summer job to help pay for college. It was a summer between my freshman and sophomore years. Although I'd been working on the family farm and caring for animals and operating machinery for as long as I could remember, and I know it's illegal, but it's the way we do things on the farm. I've been driving tractors since I was at least 6. I awoke on the first day of this new job excited to get started. It was my first job that did not involve working for my dad. Dalton Asphalt gave me that first opportunity for a weekly paycheck. As I arrived on the first day, I learned that I would be driving a steamroller. It was one of those steamrollers with the 2 huge rollers on each end that pivoted in the center. Did not have a steering wheel. Instead, it had 2 levers. One that you would move left to right, and the other one forward and backward to make the steamroller move. It had a foot-operated brake, and it had 2 gears. Slow and slower. As I was taught how to operate the machine and informed of what I needed to accomplish, my head was spinning. There was a lot of information to remember. It was a whirlwind, and I honestly do not remember anything that I was told. However, I knew that I wanted to do well. I wanted to be viewed as a valuable member of the crew. And so I concentrated on smoothing out the chip and seal as well as I could. I've since learned that chip and seal will never be smooth. As we came to our first break, I asked questions about whether I was successfully accomplishing the task. During this exchange, I asked how close could I get the roller to the edge of the road, and as I did it so, one of the guys said, "Well, don't get too close to the edge. You never know what might happen if it tips over." Tip over? No one told me in the orientation that the steamroller might tip over. Was it a joke to make me feel uncomfortable, or was it real? In all my years of driving tractors on the farm, I never thought about the fact that they might tip over. Nonetheless, the break was over and it was time to return driving the roller. During the next break, I asked more about that potential tipping over. I learned that steamrollers are very top-heavy, and I learned that the one that I was driving weighed well over 10 tons. I learned how to roll the edge and prevent the likelihood of having it tip over. And just as we were getting back to work and the break was coming to an end, a coworker said, "Just hope the brakes work." hope the brakes work? You mean I've been driving a 10-ton roller, I thought, and the brakes might not work? Again, I wondered if it was a joke or whether it was real. The time for lunch finally arrived, and I had more opportunities to ask questions and learn. So do the brakes really work? And if the brakes don't work, and I need the brakes, what do I do? As I asked the questions, I remembered something at the beginning of the orientation about the brakes might not be reliable, but in my excitement, I just glossed over that and didn't remember much of anything. So I went about my day, and as the day went on, I asked more questions during each of the breaks. And yes, it's true, road crews do take lots of breaks. I learned that the roller I was driving had a tendency to jump out of gear. And if it did so, and the roller was in neutral, it might pick up speed. And if it picks up speed, the brakes might not be enough to stop it. And I learned that if the speed of the roller caused me to be unable to steer it safely, and the speed became too great that the brakes would not hold, I should jump off of it. So the second day of work comes, I climb onto the roller, and the day progressed uneventfully. Until it was time to drive the roller to the location of our work for the third day, which is about a mile or so away. While doing so, and I was moving it, the roller jumps out of gear. I tried the brakes. It did not stop, nor did it slow down. It happened to jump out of gear and into neutral at a time when the roller was going down a hill. I tried all the various strategies that I was taught, from all the answers to the questions from the previous day. I thought of the things that I remembered in previous experiences working on the farm. None of the strategies were working, and the roller was still picking up speed. At the time, I was studying to be an engineer, so I knew enough physics to know that a 10-ton roller that was picking up speed was not going to stop on a dime. And when I looked up, I saw Heritage Lake looking back at me. Now, I can swim, but I don't swim well. And I surely did not want my second day of work to be about fishing a roller out of Heritage Lake. I tried all that I could think of one more time, and none of it worked. And then I remembered the answer to my question, what do I do if the brakes don't work? The answer was jump. So I jumped. The roller continued off the side of the road through a ditch and continued well over 100 yards, knocking down all the tree saplings in its path until it finally came to rest against a mature oak tree. New questions. What was I going to tell my boss? Would I be fired? Was I not cut out to work for others? And the dreaded question that I'm sure many people in the graduating class may have, was my dad the only person who was ever going to employ me? After my boss arrived and I informed him of my adventure, all the answers to my questions indicated that all was going to be okay. The roller was fine, I was fine, and before I was told that I could come back to work the next day, which I was told that I could come back the next day, the coworker who told me about the brakes asked, "Why did you jump into the road instead of into the ditch?" He continued by stating, "You do know a car could have been coming the other direction." Yes, the questions become more complicated. And not only do the answers also become more complicated, the answers can also contradict the answers to previous questions. You have all learned from an early age to ask questions. to seek answers. In fact, your parents likely have moments and stories that they can tell where you frustrated them by all of the why questions that you asked. Beyond treating people right and doing the right thing, the most important lesson that you have learned is to ask questions. I challenge you to always ask questions, seek answers, always continue to learn more. And yes, I did get the opportunity to continue working for Dalton. I did so for 2 consecutive summers. I loved the experience and the relationships with my coworkers, and no, they never put me on that roller ever again. We are proud of each of the achievements and the pursuits of excellence that each member of the class of 2017 earned with the support and the encouragement of parents, guardians, family, friends, teachers, and many others throughout our community. We look forward to hearing from you along your life's journey, a journey that will include many questions. We look forward to hearing how you searched for the answers and how you used those answers to make a positive difference in the lives of others. We look forward to hearing how you reflected on the answers to your questions so you can contribute to the progress and the prosperity of our community. We are proud of each of you. Congratulations on being graduates of Carroll High School.
Thank you, Dr. Himsel. Today, as we honor the class of 2017, we not only honor the academic achievements of these graduates, but we also bear witness to an important rite of passage of these young people. Therefore, the class of 2017 and the staff of Carroll High School ask the members of the audience to help maintain an atmosphere of dignity and quiet for this occasion. You are all asked to refrain from making any kind of noise, be it shouting, whistling, or clapping. We would ask that the audience offer their applause to these graduates after all of the names have been read and all of the diplomas have been awarded. We thank you in advance for your understanding and cooperation. Reading our graduates' names today are faculty members Mr. Casey Stancifer and Mr. Tyler Adelsberger.
Will the stage please rise and advance forward? Mr. Kent Summers, School Board President, and Mrs. Elizabeth Hathaway, School Board Vice President, will present diplomas to the following graduates. Joel Paul Byman. Andrew Brian Zaire. James Thomas Bassett. Carter Andrew Meyer. Katrina Marie Fliotsis. Madison Lee Allman.
Mahad Ahmed.
Riley Maxine Anderson.
Jacob M. Arnett.
Lydia L. Batters.
Nolan J. Badger.
Landon Thomas Badiak.
Shahir Anthony Begg.
Michael A. Bale.
Kirsten N. Basden.
Haley Elizabeth Baker.
Caitlin Elizabeth Bainey.
Sarah Kate Bannister.
Kylie Lauren Bartkus.
David William Bassett.
Grace Catherine Bassett.
Miranda Rose Bierman.
Matthew Kenrick John Bell.
Madison Marie Belleville.
Evan Justice Bennett.
Alexis G. Birkenbuell.
Allison Elizabeth Bitters.
Sonia Elaine Blake.
Julianne Lee Blumicky.
Tommy B. Bobet,
Jacob Aaron Bodenstein,
Nicole Elise Bodrab,
Kyle L. Boothroyd,
Bunsavan Nike Bunket,
Kevin Hain Busim,
Cameron D. Boyce,
Grayan M. Bowers, Adele C. Boyer,
Jacob Michael Boyer,
Allison Marin Boyle,
Darian N. Brademeyer,
Jacob Patterson Brennan,
Jordan Jerome Bridges,
Christopher Michael Brodaski,
Caitlin R. Brown,
Hunter Austin Brown,
Samantha Faye Brown,
Mackenzie Ann Brown,
Jensen Nora Brumbaugh,
Samuel Patrick Bruning,
Broxton Anthony Butler,
Parker Wayne Bull,
Connor Douglas Call,
Cassandra Carol Ann Butler,
Allison Taya Carpenter,
Ian Scott Campbell,
Blake Austin Castetter,
Gary Alexander Caserta,
Caroline Grace Chastain,
Tanea Ray Causey,
Braden Samuel Clements,
Maria Joanne Cheshire,
Chandrea Unique Cockrell,
Jessica Louise Clements,
Jonathan Charles Cole,
Thomas Isaac Cody,
Victoria Lynn Cologne,
Emily Ann Collins,
Danielle Madison Cook,
Lucy Claire Conser,
Noah Douglas Couch,
Matthew Thomas Crandall,
Cameron Abigail Crawford, Kimberly Rose Krevkor,
Noah Michael Cook,
Alyssa Paige Crumley,
Victoria Ann Krevkor,
Cameron Michael Dargis,
Alicia Renee Cunningham,
Stone Michael Davidson,
Morgan Noel Dar,
Kennedy Marie Davis,
Garrett Wayne Davis,
Brianna Renee De Leon,
Zachary M. Davis,
Miyoko Vanessa Dill,
Logan Jenna DePoy,
Kaylee Nicole Dis,
Nico Pietro DePremio,
Doria Donaldson,
Dylan Dixon,
Catherine Elizabeth Dorsey,
Mallory May Doolin,
Miranda Grace Dunton,
Haley Lynn Dugald,
Samuel Barnett Eastman,
Mitchell Patrick Dupuis,
Benjamin Aaron Edwards,
Aaliyah Elizabeth Edgar,
Nicholas Aaron Iden,
Heather Grace Eicholtz,
Halla Marie Nasser Ellsworthy,
Ashley Danielle Ellis,
Bethany Michelle Erdman,
Hannah Marie Nasser Elsworthy,
Jacob Christopher Evans,
Brendan Thomas Essex,
Eva Elizabeth Fath,
Madison Lynn Evans,
Shannon Nicole Felger,
Anna Maria Fidel,
Alexis M. Finton,
Zachary William Felger,
Alexander Michael Flickinger,
Noah Lewis Fleming,
Sheridan Elizabeth Flores,
Alexis Destiny Flickinger, Michael Earl Flowers Jr.,
Jasmine Ann Fortier,
Kane Alexander Forrest,
Nicole Elizabeth Fosno,
Dylan David Fortney,
Hunter David Freeman,
Hannah Marie France,
Rachel Nicole Fries,
Lydia K. Fretz,
Delaney Lynn Garland,
Jillian Consuelo Garcia,
Raul Garza IV,
Gabrielle Lynn Garza,
Jonathan Michael Gatton,
Dylan Matthew Gator,
Hannah Marie Geese,
Michael Murphy Gone,
Emma Elizabeth Gemlick,
Brooke Nicole Geiselman,
Nicholas W. Gephardt,
Victoria Elizabeth Gross.
Josephine Sophia Giannotti.
Matthew Adam George.
Ted Glufcha.
Teresa Josepha Gervais.
Justin M. Gore.
Mason D. Gilbert.
Jolie Nicole Gray.
Drake E. Gonzalez.
Caleb Joseph Green.
Sophia Rochelle Grable.
Harris Gergich. Natalie Ann Gross.
DeAndre D. Green.
Lanessa Noelani Grossman.
Rebecca Elizabeth Groling.
Jessica L. Gumbert.
Elizabeth Rose Gebhard.
Summer Nicole Goodwin.
Ryan James Hafner.
Mr. Ronald Felger, School Board Secretary, will join Mr. Summers in presenting diplomas to the following graduates. Elizabeth Faith Harder.
Justice P. Hamilton.
Amanda Marie Harder.
Jonathan Blake Harris.
Parker Wells Hale.
Madison E. Harrison.
Madison Elizabeth Hathaway.
Sierra Christine Hamilton.
Jeremy Aaron Hanshu.
Rachel Marie Hauser.
William Charles Harris.
Mishan Jada Held.
Brianna Nicole Henry.
Joseph Brett Henschel.
Jillian Faith Henshin.
Ashley N. Hess.
William G. Hickey.
Michaela Marie Hicks.
Nicholas J. Hilker.
Noah B. Hines.
Alexandria Marie Holden.
Lucas Andrew Hook.
Hannah Marie Hopkins.
Natalie Tennille Hogue.
Cree Airy Householder.
Nautica Q. Howlett.
Erica Bryn Hughes.
Joseph Francis Honeycutt.
Seth Michael Hirsch.
Elise Bree Hutchins.
Ben C. Hutton.
Kevin C. Hunn.
Hannah Renee Hyde.
Claire Evelyn Jackson.
Caitlin Caroline Jackson.
Josephine Emily Jeffries.
Nathaniel Joseph Jackson.
Kennedy Colleen Johnson.
Janae Nicole Duran.
Alicia Lane Jolly.
Abigail Michelle Johnston.
Madeline Marie Jones.
Lauren Elise Jones.
Marindi Tongi Kabongo.
Christine Elise Joseph.
Nicholas Allen Kaplan.
Brooklyn Jade Kammer.
Gracie Alexis Keller.
Kane Adam Keithley.
Jackson Thomas Kent.
Samuel Allen Kelty.
John F. Kim.
Brandon Edward Kennecke.
Sydney Catherine Olivia Kirby.
Ross Duncan Kimbrough.
Mackenzie Paige Kister.
Tyler Scott Kirkpatrick.
Lauren Elizabeth Coble.
Rachel Morgan Klitzing.
Owen M. Krauskopf.
Tyler Michael Kuntz.
Kennedy M. Kreider.
Jonathan M. Corpy.
Sadie Rose Crone.
Cassidy Grace Krylock.
Michelle Ashley Latchberg.
Coleman D. Crone.
Braden Russell Lambert.
Andrew M. Kurtz.
Anna Grace LaRue.
Natalie Brianne Lehmeyer.
Kate Chugia Laughlin.
Brooke Jonna Marie Lane.
Colin M. Leatherman.
Alexa Ray Lauer.
Andrew Dean LaFave.
Jesse R. Lawson.
Maya K. Lewis.
Demetrios B. Lee.
Emma Elizabeth Litsky.
Callie Ann Lehman.
Kennedy Ray Lamont.
Tristan Dale Lurch.
Derek Longenberger.
Trevor J. Lewis.
Megan Elon Markarian.
Elizabeth Ann Lohman.
Alexandra Caney Martin.
Christian Douglas Long.
Julia Lindsay Martin.
Adrian Matthew Lowe.
Natalie Sue Martin.
Alyssa Brianna Marker.
Dalton Jacob McCulchek.
John Anthony Martin Jr.
Kaylee McCormick.
Kristen Cherie Martin.
Caitlin Renee McCurdy.
Noah Franklin Maddox.
Tyler Douglas McKeever.
Brady Joseph McBride.
Emma Ruth McNeil.
Lauren Winter McRae.
Nathan Richard Kaloa Menner.
Kelsey Nicole McElroy.
Caleb Maine Meyer.
Ryan Patrick McKendry.
Caitlin Eliza Miller.
Kendall Madison McSorley.
Ian Richard Miller.
Brooke Ann Miller.
Sydney Sharon Miller.
Emma Michaela Suzanne Miller.
Amara Renee Milarczyk.
Paige Michael Miller.
Elizabeth Delaney Morgan.
Alexis Marie Minor Smith.
Whitney Nicole Morrow.
Zach Shane Moore.
Paxton Mariah Muncie.
Desiree Eileen Morrow.
Landon Christopher Mazzello.
Daniel Todd Moser.
Anise Walid Nadros II.
Samuel Paul Muter.
Cody Wolf Nass.
Madeline K. Myers.
Alexander Stephen Newland.
Nicholas Ryan Nagel.
Ryan L. Wen.
Kyle Scott New.
Damon Eugene Nicholas.
Zachary Allen Niedermeyer.
George Maxwell Nishibuchi.
Philip P. Wynn.
Nicholas A. Novotny.
Rob M. Niblick.
Jacob Robert Olchik.
Rachel Elizabeth Nielsen.
Jake A. Ostrowski.
Caitlin Marie Knoll.
Gabriella Marie Palazzolo.
Catherine Grace Edding.
Nicholas James Parker.
Lauren Page Osborne.
Benjamin Tweed Parnan.
Brooke Elise Owens.
Jacob Max Pease.
Sabrina K. Palermo.
Justin James Percy.
Tyler Joseph Parker.
Sengfa Bell Pothrath.
Peyton Nicole Parrish.
Caitlin Anne-Marie Piercy.
Seth Tyler Pendergrass.
Landon Taylor Place.
Nu Tun Pham.
Leah Christine Plummer.
Maxwell Louis Pico.
Timothy Joseph Pachka.
Matthew Bryant Peer.
Ethan R. Powell.
Tess Elizabeth Plasick.
Cordell David Pressler.
Cassandra Lee Pontius. Logan David Potts.
Nicholas Vincent Ramsey.
Marshall Joe Pranger.
Adam Clay Reese.
Jordan Elliott Price.
Morgan Taylor Riley.
Haley Michelle Roush.
Taylor Rose Relio.
Jacob David Redding.
Lydia Ray Reiki.
Mr. Stephen Bartkus and Mrs. Christy Schlatter, school board members, will present diplomas to the following graduates. Jacob Edward Reed.
Brooklyn Ann Robin.
Jack David Relu.
Eleni Athena Rongos.
Hannah Brianne Ricketts.
Noah Hunter Rowley.
Melissa Risvik.
Emily Renee Ryan.
Kyler Deshaun Rogers.
Dakota Michael Sabino.
Braden Thomas Root.
Carson M. Sanderson.
Roshan Janelle Russell.
Brooklyn Rain Saylor.
Ty Douglas Ryan.
Samantha Ray Saylor.
Alec Joseph Sanderson.
Jared Michael Sherrick.
Claire Elizabeth Sank.
Victoria Jean Ann Schlatter.
Jackson P. Saylor.
Jordan W. Schmeling.
Ian Schaub.
Jasper Lee Schroeder.
Colin Schlatter.
Rayanne Marie Schultes.
Kaylee Lee Schlatter.
Madeline Nicole Scott.
Danielle Schnitz.
Anurit Kar Sekon.
Nick Schroeder.
Brandon Nicholas Semprini.
Marilyn Elizabeth Schutte.
Stuart Ray Schenk.
Madison Grace Seacrest.
Savannah Michelle Shearer.
Jacob Paul Sellers.
Cody Michael Shesky.
Marcy Lynn Shade.
Olivia Suzanne Simpkins.
Jack Douglas Shannon.
Mackenzie Nicole Sidwell.
Courtney Lynn Sherrick.
Aaron Chase Sigmund.
Morgan Jeanette Shoemaker.
Travis Austin Slofer.
Lauren Elizabeth Sigworth.
Grace Elizabeth Sloan.
Shylin Janae Silvers.
Grant David Smith.
Kaylee Elizabeth Slate.
Scott Benjamin Smith.
Chelsea Ray Sloan.
Lucas Randall Snyder.
Caitlin Rose Smith.
Melanie Ann Solberger.
Hope Gabrielle Smith.
Zachary Dean Sorg.
Adam Franklin Smotherman.
Mason Breckenridge Spar.
Allison Noel Subzak.
Joseph Martin Squadrito II.
Seth Michael Salter.
Christian James Stanley.
Kennedy Colleen Souders.
Haley Ann Stensland.
Andrew Vincent Squadrito.
Elizabeth Lillian Stocker.
Lucas Robert Stamets.
Adam Christopher Studi.
Taylor Ann Starkey.
Nathaniel Paul Stuck.
Cassandra Lillian Stockel.
Isaiah Austin Swain.
Devin Michael Strasser.
Nicholas Matthew Sweet. Garrett Chandler Tolley.
Caleb Hunter Sutton.
Caroline Jane Tarka.
Michaela Elise Swain.
Alexander Jeffrey Thomas.
Cora J. Severson.
Ashley Nicole Thomas.
Connor Charles Tapp.
Haley Lynn Thurber.
Brody Allen Taylor.
Cassandra Harry Till.
Allison M. Thomas.
Max C. Tenyus.
Zachary Robert Thomas.
Brooke Elizabeth Tryon.
Benjamin David Tidwell.
Sarah Catherine Tranquil.
Ryan David Tom.
Caitlin Jean Traxler.
Madeline Elena Arnell Tran.
Lauren Nicole Ulrich.
Benjamin Russell Trauner.
Russell William Van Pelt.
Brooke Tucker.
Tyler Dean Van Weingarten.
Luke Alexander Van Allen.
Vanessa Ann Venderly.
Ryan Michael Van Weingarten.
Alyssa Nicole Vince.
Miriam Yoseline Vega.
Ryan Alva Wagner.
Rebecca Lynn Villanueva.
Tyler John Walter.
Eliana Catherine Vollmer.
Madison Renee Warner.
Xavier Scott Walden.
Noah Jacob Waterman.
Judith Walukeba.
Caleb James Waugh.
Ryotaro Watanabe.
Abigail Nicole Wisman.
Jimmy Giroux Westbrook.
Lorianne Nicole Wigner.
Demery Monet White.
Caitlin Elizabeth Winger.
Tyler Austin Wilder.
Dawson T. Winters.
Luke Allen Winteregg.
Isabella Marie Witalski.
Autumn Lynn Wise.
Keith Allen Wright.
Michaela Lynn Woodfill.
Cameron Robert Sayachuk.
Grant Matthew Yeager.
Callista Day Yarborough.
Sophia Marie York.
Carson Riley Yoder.
Caden Mont Jordan.
Abigail Grace Young.
Randy J. Zedick.
Jordan Michael Zagel.
The following graduates were unable to attend to today's ceremony: Sawyer Edward Andreski, John Patrick Anzini, Paul M. Bender, William Michael Blodgett, Michael Warren Brooks, Riley Allison Busson, Sydney Marie Fanning, Tanner Michael Griffin, Connor J. Hoot, Emily Rada Jovevsky, Amethyst L. Larkey, John Daniel Marketos, Lazarus Xavier McAtee, Cheyenne R. McDaniel Carpenter, Jaden Cole Meesrow, Alyssa Jacqueline Pugh, Kyler Ethan River Reynolds, Esmeralda Nativita Santos, Abigail N. Creekmore, Samuel Paul Floyd, Jeffrey A. Greeno III, Damian Lee Ray, Destiny Marie Stone. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the graduating class of 2017. Thank you. If you'll please be seated. Salutatorian Andrew Zaire will provide the farewell address.
As I was preparing for this speech, I read about a survey ranking people's fears. Many of the top 10 fears were unsurprising. The fear of heights, the fear of spiders, snakes, car crashes, the usual group of phobias. But ranking above all of these as the number one fear of all was the fear of public speaking. Now, this might not sound too surprising until you consider what ranked as second and third: death and being buried alive. Now, I don't know what went wrong, but someone, somewhere, thought this meant it would be a good idea to honor the top students of each class with a public speech in front of thousands of people. And at times, I feel like being buried alive would be more humane than this. At least then, I'd get some privacy. But I'm not here today to question the logic of graduation speeches. Instead, here I am, tasked with finding some inspirational parting words to somehow bestow my sage teenage wisdom on the rest of the teenagers. But despite my good grades and supposed intelligence, I don't know how to do that. Nothing I could say today could prepare us for the change that is coming. Some of us are headed to college, both in Fort Wayne and on the other side of the country. Some of us are headed to work. Some of us are headed to the military, while others of us are still deciding. The truth is, I don't have enough wisdom for 500 distinct life paths. I don't even know if I have enough wisdom for mine. So I won't try to offer any wisdom today. This speech is supposed to be a simple farewell address. So, class of 2017, I hope you fare well. I hope that your next 4 years, whatever they may look like, are filled with enriching new experiences, inspiring people, and personal growth. I hope that you find meaning in your work, whether you become a doctor, a mechanic, or a teacher. I hope that you find a family to call your own, maybe a spouse and 10 kids, maybe a close group of friends, or maybe just you and some cats. Whatever it may be, I hope that you feel like you belong and that you make others feel the same way. I hope that you hold true to what you believe and make an impact on the world, however small it may be. I hope that you make a scene,
I hope that you organize and protest, petition and engage, vote and clamor for change. I hope that you don't stand idly by the sidelines, waiting on some other person in some other time to solve a problem. Because if there is one thing I fear more than being buried alive, or yes, even public speaking, it's the fear of apathy, the fear of never really caring or trying. So I do hope you fare well. I hope you're happy in life. I hope you find your place. But most of all, I hope you never become complacent. There is simply too much work to be done in your life, in your community, in our world. So congratulations, class of 2017. We did it. Now it's time to make sure everything we learned was not learned in vain.
Here I am, standing before you all, delivering the celebration of friendship speech. My role as a speaker today is to profess the friendship that helps bind us together. My job is to explain how friendship never dies and how we will always be united as friends. Unfortunately, I don't think I can fulfill that role. I don't think I can fill those shoes. Why? Because we aren't all friends. And to say that we are would be a false, unrealistic characterization. In a class of close to 500 students, how can we all be possibly friends with each other? As a class, we are not united through friendship. Our unity, rather, is formed through the experiences we shared through our time as students. And today, as we graduate as the class of 2017, that unity is so much more significant than the unity found in friendship. Friends can fall out of our lives. Despite what we hope, friends are not always forever. But we will always be the Carroll High School class of 2017, and that's something to be proud of. Whether it was storming the basketball court as juniors during our homecoming pep rally, or dumping buckets of ping pong balls and bouncy balls down the grand staircase on the last day of school for our senior prank, the experiences we share make us the class of 2017. But don't get me wrong, the individual friendships we have formed and nurtured during our high school years are precious and to be treasured. But as a class, we are defined by the experiences, both good and bad, that we have enjoyed and endured as students of Carroll High School since we walked into the freshman center back in 2013. The memories that will make us smile 20 years down the road and the memories that will make us cry 20 years down the road are the forces that hold us together. Today, in this moment, we celebrate our unity as a class and our shared experience. Class of 2017, let's treasure that unity from this point forward. As we depart this ceremony as high school graduates, let us remember the words of Japanese poet Ryunosuke Satoru. Individually, we are a drop, but together, we are an ocean. Congratulations, class of 2017, and may the memories we made in high school shed light into darkness we may encounter down the road, just as our candles will soon illuminate the space around us. Graduating class, you may now rise and pick up your candles.
This is where the chapter ends. A new one now begins. Time has come for letting go. The hardest part is when you know all of these years when we were here are ending. But I'll always remember we have had the time of our lives. And now the pages turn, the stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives, and I will not forget the faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days, but if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. Where the water meets the land, there is shifting in the sand, like the tide that ebbs and flows. Memories will come and go. All of these years when we were here are ending, but I'll always remember we have had the time of our lives. And now the pages turn, the stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives, and I will not forget the faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days, but if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. We say goodbye, we hold on tight to these memories that never die. We say goodbye, we hold on tight to these memories that never die. We have had the time of our lives, and now the pages turned, the stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives, and I will not forget the faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days, but if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives.
Congratulations, you may now extinguish your candles.
Every good story has 5 parts: a prologue, rising action, climax, falling action, and an epilogue. We all had similar prologues, trying to assimilate to the new environment that was Carroll High School. In between then and now, we have lived and made high school as much as we could. But now, here we stand in the epilogue of our story, writing the last words on the last page of the book titled Carroll. But the funny thing about epilogue is, yes, it signals the end. However, it normally leaves the reader with a point that could be made into a sequel. A sequel that each of us has the opportunity to write. Each of us has this opportunity, no matter if the next step is college, a job, the military, or still undecided. You have the blank sheets of paper in front of you. Write your sequel. But before you can put pen to paper, we still have one more thing to do. Seniors, will you join in unison in moving your tassels from right to left? Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinguished honor to present to you the Carroll High School class of 2017. Congratulations.